Instead of being a purist gamer, why don't we just let the machines take over? Paladin is one of my favorite classes because at the beginning of Hearthstone, I absolutely love the mid-range style of just playing minions and then eventually being able to stick even bigger minions throughout the entire course of the game. And that is exactly where you're going to be getting with this next deck, so if you like this kind of content, feel free to like this video and subscribe to the YouTube channel in order to tell me that you guys are actually interested in Mech Paladin, because I believe this deck is extremely underrated. And don't just take my word for it. The person that I got this from, Jombre, is the person that's been trying to, popularize this archetype with his version of the deck. And one thing that I do have to point out before we start talking about this deck is why are we playing mechs when we could just be playing Pure Paladin, Pure Paladin obviously is one of the best decks in the game. The Countess is an insane legendary. But there are some things that Mech Paladin can just do better than Pure Paladin. Case in point, Pure Paladin doesn't do very well into the Druid and into the Demon Hunter matchups, because if you make a big taunt, or if you gain a bunch of armor, or if you, do the Reno combo in Demon Hunter, then there's not a lot of regain that Pure Paladin has in order to get itself back onto the board and start killing your opponent. It needs to win almost as soon as possible, otherwise it needs to have like the most ridiculous scams out of Countess. This deck just makes the scam by turn 3, turn 4, to where if they don't have the answer, you're just going to be killing them by turn 5. So let's go ahead and talk about why Mech Paladin might be the sleeper deck that you need to be playing right now. Before we jump into specific cards, I want to go ahead and show you guys my win rate with the deck a couple of days ago, because when I started streaming this the other day, I was 13-8, which is pretty insane, since I've been trying to find the best deck to actually hit Legend that's not just a meta deck, and well, spoiler alert, it hasn't been going the greatest. Unfortunately, though, I was not able to hit Legend with this deck because I started evening out with my win rate, but I still ended at a 55%, which I believe is still really good, even though we had a massive loss streak the last time that I was playing this deck. But when I first started, man, 13-8, 62% win rate. Just go ahead and say this deck's a 60% win rate, and we'll all be happy. But don't just take it from me. Jombre has also been doing everything that he can in order to make this deck as effective as possible, even so much as going into the stats on specific cards, because originally he was playing a Noyotron, and I really highly suggest that you guys check out this video, and you subscribe to him, okay? Make sure to hit that button and make sure that Jombre gets your support, because this dude is by far one of the most, if not the most creative deck builder that can also maintain top 100 Legend, because this dude he plays Hearthstone on a completely different level. But I can already hear the first question that people are going to ask me: why don't we run Goldwing? Well, every single time I look at Goldwing, the Mulligan win rate and the drawn win rate of this card is just not where it needs to be, so that's the main reason why I'm not playing it. But I will go ahead and argue that if you don't have any Storm Coil, you can just go ahead and put in a Goldwing, because this card isn't 100% necessary in the deck. I wouldn't suggest, spending dust on this card. If you're missing it, just go ahead and replace it with a Goldwing, and I think that you're going to be fine, and you still have that win theory capability. But the reason why this is not in my deck personally is because this card, when you play it, first of all, you need to have a mech, which isn't that difficult, but the win theory is the reason why you play it, right? Your goal is to hopefully stick this card and then play a War Gear on this in order to deal an obscene amount of damage, but unfortunately, you're just not going to have that happen, because your opponent is going to destroy the Goldwing every single time you even think about magnetizing this thing, and in the late stages of the game, this card is just never going to work. So the best way to utilize this card is to try and trade into 2 taunts, into 2 3 HP minions, so that way your mechs can stand a little taller. But unfortunately, by the time that you're doing an effect like this, if you've already got the board, then you just need to maintain your board. So Goldwing, unfortunately, is just a card that I don't think belongs in this deck. Although if we were playing Renathal, then sure, you can put it in the deck, but I don't think Renathal helps with the consistency of this deck by any means. But now that we've talked about the deck, let's go ahead and check out what HS Replay has to say, because there's a couple of decks that are floating around right now, but the Jombre list, I believe, is the least represented, because it is still an emerging archetype that people are trying to settle on, because there's a lot of different lists that people are running right now, most notably the version with Goldwing, as well as the Noyotrons. But I do believe that Grimescreed Outfitter is just 100% better, because the perfect thing that you could do if you have coin is the coin radar detection, find 5 mechs, and then immediately buff them all with the Grimescreed Outfitter. So that is just an insane amount of value, especially when you think about how many magnetized cards there are. The Bronze Gatekeeper, the Ziliax, the War Gear. These cards are just insanely consistent, and you can find even more magnetized cards out of cards like Amalgam of the Deep. And as we progress higher, we'll see that, the win rate starts to get a little bit lower, because, again, this is no Pure Paladin, and unfortunately, there are some matchups that you're just gonna have to, you know, draw the nuts in order to out-aggro some people. But, like, if you look at the stats, it's still impressive all throughout. Like, you don't see this deck go below a 50%, and that is impressive by its own means, because even if you make it into the top legend ranks, where this deck is definitely not popular, it is still maintaining a 50%. So what exactly is this deck good into outside of being popular against Druid and Demon Hunter? Unfortunately, when I go and check the actual deck, it doesn't have enough data in order to see what the best matchups are. So if we take a look at the deck with the most amount of data, we can kind of get an idea of what exactly this deck is good into. But yeah, boom. Good into Demon Hunters, great into Druid. It's pretty good into Mage, really good against Hunter, but a lot of decks are really good against Hunter right now. It's got a 64% against Undead Priest, 83% against Rock and Roll Warrior. Oh my god, Warrior, when will you be good? Please tell me, Blizzard. But yeah, your main weaknesses are going to be Miracle Rogue and Pure Paladin, because unfortunately these decks either go wider or deal with your boards before you deal with theirs. Unholy DK, kind of the similar thing. They go wide and you can't defeat them. And Blood DK, they have all the removal because they have cards like Asphyxiate. But look at the green and like every other perspective right now, man. I really think that Mech Paladin is a deck that people are just sleeping on, because unfortunately, when you have a deck like Pure Paladin running the pack, other Paladin decks that aren't Control are just going to be overshadowed. But trust me, I really do believe that if you want a different climb, if you want to take your opponents off guard and maybe, you know, catch them by surprise, this might be the way to do it. And the best part about this deck is that the Mulligan is not difficult at all. Like, look at that. Keep a 1, keep a 1, keep a 2, keep a 2, keep a 2, keep a 2, boom. That's pretty much it. Even though this isn't the same deck, let me go ahead and pull up the actual deck. But the trend still stays the same with the other deck. You just keep the 1s and you keep the 2s, because this deck is just, you know, about playing board as soon as possible. And that's why it's really weird to me that people weren't playing Mistake. In fact, hold on a minute. This deck doesn't have Mistake. Where are my mistakes? There they are. 56% win rate. That is much better. And look at that. It's got us, well, hold on a minute. Maybe the stats aren't exactly selling you on this right now. But the reason why you want this card in the deck is because it synergizes with all of the other mechs. And sometimes you just want to be able to play a 1-3 against a deck like Pure Paladin, so that way you can try to keep them off the board and then summon a gigantic mech that cannot be stopped. Because I'll tell you right now, Security Automaton, when you play it as soon as you can, with 2 frequency oscillators, click clockers, if you had a Discall Maul equipped, and that can even get even larger, and then you just throw on a Bronze Gatekeeper in order to give it 5 HP, taunt, and then a little bit more attack, and then just suddenly you just got a gigantic mech that can't be stopped. Now, with the gigantic mech, there are ways of being thwarted by taunts, which is why the Pure Paladin matchup can be a little bit unfavorable because of the 5/5, so they can just throw out almost, you know, unexpectedly. But I still believe that Mech Paladin, if you just ignore the Pure Paladin matchup, has a pretty favorable lineup into every single ladder deck that you can run into. But if you guys are looking for an interesting Paladin deck, I would definitely check out this deck, but I would also be ready for tomorrow's video, because I've got another Paladin deck, and I'll just go ahead and spoil it. It's going to be Control Paladin. And I actually had a pretty good win rate with it, and I might try hitting Legend with it later tonight. So if you guys like this kind of content, feel free to like this video and subscribe to the YouTube channel, as well as checking out the Twitch channel, which the reason why I didn't tell you guys at the beginning of the video that we're going to be streaming is because on Sundays, I'm going to start doing something called Sunday FUNDAYs. We'll play up against chat in Hearthstone, maybe play like a different game, do some variety stuff. And also, I might even like, you know, decorate my walls with chat or something like that. You never know what you'll find at twitch.tv/ClarkHellScream. More than just decks, by the way. But in any case, I just want to give you guys an update on that, because Sundays are going to start being more of a fun day over here on this stream. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this deck intro, and we'll see you for the next video. I'm trying to put on a happy face, but just know that I am very upset that we lost that. Okay, happy thoughts. Oh, never mind, it's aggro. Okay, let's go. Let's go. I'm still angry, by the way, because it's Priest, but don't think about that. I'm still angry because it's Priest. Alright, I'll go ahead and just do this to get the minion on the field. This is the reason why I choose to play Chattiest Curse Warlock. What, so you can bully the control decks? I honestly wish that there was a Warlock deck that was, like, insanely good right now. But they're only so good right now, and it makes me sad. Yeah, better to do it this way. We're in the same mood now. I was so hyped for a Warlock this expansion. Dude, I am fairly confident everybody was hyped for Warlock. You wanna know why? You wanna know why? Because Symphony of Sins was like the most hyped card that I've seen in a minute. There were so many people hyping up that card. And I was one of them, by the way. No matter what this hits. So we full clear it, right? Okay, so buff that one, so then we buff this one. Trade and trade. And now we're ahead. I can use Radar Detector to refill. Maybe play another mech, and then we have War Gear. I didn't get the hype, to be honest. It's because it was a cool card. It's not just Ticketus, it's Ticketus plus extra steps. Since it's a really good card, hopefully Control Warlock gets some buffs so we can reach its full potential. I agree, dude. I mean, it's already doing its quote-unquote full potential, isn't it? It's just that... oh my god, did I just draw 5? Did I actually just draw 5? Let's go, dude, let's go. I would love to play this, but isn't this minion gonna get killed? And I really want that War Gear value next turn, so... We're gonna do it this way, even though it's less value out of this, but the War Gears are all that matter. Yeah, exactly. It's a cool card, but no support. I mean, the support is Control Warlock. Control Warlock has support, it's just not hitting the, It's just not hitting the numbers that you would want it to right now. You know? It's still like an archetype that has support. Does it ever do this, hit him for the 10, he goes to 15. Yeah, this is definitely the play. I don't even care if he plays the 4-drop. I actually don't even care if he plays the 4-drop. Yeah, that's actually how we save Warlock, Blizzard. If you add Cube into the game, you were literally talking about how Warlock would be like S tier, right? Also, Unga Bunga, dude. That's a mighty big click clocker. Tick-tock on the clock. War Gear's turning on the spot tonight. Oh. Go ahead, make the remix now. But I also believe that if any was a mech, though, that synergy would be kind of insane, right? Because then you have a mech that summons up like an even better mech, and then you still have something you can like magnetize. Okay, so Automaton is the reason why I don't want to play any of these cards, right? Because I could just do this on 2, then Unga Bunga, then refill, then Unga Bunga again. So we're not playing a 1. No, I like the buff going on this, especially if this is like a mirror. If this is pure Paladin and they don't have a turn 1, this is a huge swing for us, right? It'd be cool, but I mean, this deck's already really good, right? Yep, exactly, and yet Okani isn't a Naga. I mean, sometimes you can't have those kind of synergies, you know? It makes sense. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. I guess I should have played Mistake, dude. I would have traded into that. I would have had the Automaton. Yeah, this is already going really bad, actually. So now I'm gonna have to do... I should have just played the 1. I just should have played the 1, and now I'm automatically paying the price. But I do have Security Automaton. If I can trade, I will go ahead and do that. Except the L that I didn't get as much... Yeah, because there's that. I didn't want to just throw this away. Replicating Menace? Yeah, this was a big oops. All I need to do is just play on tempo, and that seems to be my biggest weakness, mate. 5, 6. Ah! What? How dare you? How dare you? Oh man, my shoulders are gonna hate me after today. 5, 6, 7. Oh god, let's go. Let me at least get to the 10. 9, 10. Okay, yep. Oh. Okay, yep, not doing that for a while. I did 3. Good enough, man. I did 3, and you guys want me to do more? Y'all are crazy. Y'all are just straight up crazy, mate. Let's draw first, and then we can do this. Ooh. It's just always the outfitter, right? But at the same time, a lot of my minions could survive going into the next turn. Okay, gotta get rid of the divine shields. All the talking I'm gonna pass out live on camera. Okay, scary. Manageable though. So yeah, we do this. I guess we should have technically discovered first. Order Lul. Hello? Maybe that could be good? Like, imagine, like, replicating Menace, get rid of everything, only this thing's alive. Either that or, like, we do this and then magnetize it. Becomes a threat. Dude, this might work out. Hold on a minute. Dude, this game would have been an automatic win if I just played the 1-drop. I'm automatically, like, paying for my misplay. Okay, boogie down. Is that the only one? Ooh, it's the only one, dude. Dude, this actually means that I can get away with this. Alright, hold on. Hold on. What happens if I make a copy of this? If there are 2 on the field, it needs to kill both of them, right? This is a really neat interaction test if it survives. It survives! Alright! Okay, hold on. But I really want to test this interaction. I'm doing this for science. The right play would have been this for sure. Wait. The 1/1s don't have rush, right? No, they don't have rush. Alright. Hold on. So now that both of these are in play, this thing can't attack. This is going a really big distance right now, dude. This is going a really big distance. This thing not attacking. This was 100% the right pick. And now I can give these all Divine Shield and Taunt.
Access denied.
Appropriate timing on the JoJo theme. Alright, dude, he's completely dismantled now. Oh no, is he gonna finally kill it off? Is he finally gonna kill it off? Oh, okay, there he goes. He finally gets to swing with the 7/6. After 3 turns of being denied. Ah, it's free, dude. Much like this game, it's so free. It's such a free game. Okay, top deck War Gear. Frequency Oscillator. Okay, so if I get War Gear, we win the game. Aw. So this can go here. Can bubble. Oh, we should have reversed the order on that. I was so focused on making these 1/1s gain taunt. Alright, there's no way we lose here, right? You need Countess into Gigafin. I think that's quite literally it. Yeah, swings into a 1/1. Yeah, this was not the cleanest game ever, but it still goes to show how this deck is insane. That guy is not... That guy is not happy.